Some of you may be able to relate to this. So, some years ago, many years ago, I recall asking God to allow me to show some people in the workplace who I was. Um, there were some agitators there. There was some mistreatment in the workplace, and it was a Christian workplace. And I got tired of being humble. I got tired of praying. And I remember going in the restroom and I was asking God, just please let me show them who I am. I want them to see who I used to be. When I tell y'all that conviction, standing in that restroom, angry, I was ready to tear that church up. I was ready to demolish the house of God. And standing in that restroom, I heard the Holy Spirit say, do you want them to see you or me? Because they can't see both. And I was convicted. And all I could do was cry because I wanted them to see the me who knew how to be destructive, the me who had lived in pain, the me who had anger issues, the me who did not care about people at all. But now, not only had I been called to minister, I had been called to love people, to care for people, to exhibit the fruits of the Spirit. And I wanted them to see me. And so what I want to encourage you is this. We can't show people both. We've got to choose. And that day, the Holy Spirit gave me the option. He didn't choose for me. He gave me the option. If you want to let them see you, go ahead. But then when I thought about the damage that would do, these people knew I was a preacher. They knew I was a Christian. They heard me preach. I preached at the church before. I was ministering to my co-workers, sharing the gospel with them. So all of a sudden, I wanted to trade in who they saw me to be for who I used to be. And I just want to share with you that it's not worth it. Yes, I had to humble myself. I stood in that restroom and I cried and I cried and I was so mad because they thought that I was weak. They thought because I was humble and because I was submissive to the Holy Spirit that they could just walk all over me and say whatever they wanted to say to me. And I needed them to know, you got the wrong one. I used to be about that life, okay? But that ain't what God wanted them to see. And what was interesting about that day, before the day ended, they called me into the sanctuary. And the director, I was the assistant director, the director and the young lady, her partner in crime, they both mourned in tears. And all of this was over me leaving because I had decided to leave because I believed that God was calling me to start my own daycare. And they were upset. The other young lady was upset because I came in and I kept getting promoted so quickly and God was showing me favor. But that day, because I let them see God instead of letting them see Marie, they cried, they had gifts, they had to recant their words because all the other employees knew that they had plotted against me. The other employees shared how helpful I had been to them and how I had been a servant in the workplace. Y'all, that wouldn't have happened if Marie had acted out and showed them who I used to be. It would have completely tarnished my testimony. And that's all I'm saying to you. Don't let your desire to show people who you were before Christ, your BC. Don't let them see your BC. I wanted them to see my AD. I wanted them to continue to see how God transformed me and the person that I am now. And that's what I wanted to share. Pray that this encouraged somebody to not go to your workplace, not go to your family functions and act a fool. They need to see the Christ in you. Bye bye.